today I have a double-page scrapbook layout of our little stinker, our grandson Ace. These pictures were taken in September 2024 when he was 2 months old. We were up in Manitou Springs, Colorado, and we were joined by Ace's mommy Alex and my son Dylan and his, at the time, fiance Kaylee. They recently got married and I will have photos of the wedding to share in a later video. I am using papers from the Everyday Happiness Designer Series paper from Stampin' Up. The colors in this collection are Gray Granite, Lost Lagoon, Mossy Meadow, Pecan Pie, Pretty Peacock, Very Vanilla, and Wild Wheat. At the time of this recording, these papers are on last chance, and I believe they are close to selling out. So please be sure to check that out on my website. I'll have the link down below. I've pulled some stamp sets out of my stash that are retired from close to my heart, and I'll also be using the Spotlight on Nature dies from Stampin' Up. I've pulled some ink pads and markers from my stash, and I've grabbed Delightful Daffodil ink spot from Stampin' Up. I've not yet worn out most of my stamp pads and markers from close to my heart, so I will add links to the Stampin' Up equivalents, if there are any, down below, with any other items that are available at the time of this recording. Now, one of the items I think everyone should consider if they enjoy using stamps in their crafting is a stamping platform. These skunk stamps from my stash are an excellent example of why platforms might be important for you. There are so many solid areas in these stamps that this took multiple presses to get the desired image. On these two examples, you can see there were parts of the images that didn't take. With a stamping platform, you can re-ink the stamp and press again, and everything stays in the exact same spot. Here's a completed image. I actually stamped 3 or 4 times. I don't have too many stamps that are so solid, but the ones I do have, this Mini Misty has come in very handy. The problem with the Mini Misty is that the area for stamping is quite small. However, Stampin' Up has announced they are going to be offering the Stampin' Positioner. Right now it's only available to Stampin' Up demonstrators, and I have not received mine yet. Now, until March 2nd, if you join my team and become a demonstrator, you will receive a free Stampin' Up Positioner with your kit. There is a link down in the description below, along with my email address. If you'd like to join or would like additional information, please reach out and I'll be happy to meet with you virtually or over the phone and discuss. Now, the layout I'm going to create is based on a pattern by my upline, Jama Malmy. She has challenged those of us on her team to create a layout this month with this pattern. I've decided to use these papers with this design, and I'm going to cut these out off camera, and I'll be right back. So one of the things I was considering was which ink I had in my stash would be closest to the colors of my paper. I pulled Crystal Blue and Lagoon from close to my heart, and I was surprised. I thought for sure that Lagoon would be my color, but I decided the Crystal Blue was the look I was going for. You'll remember the Stampin' Up color in the papers is Lost Lagoon, and off camera I stamped out a couple of flowers from the retired set, and you can see that the images between the Crystal Blue and the Lagoon are very different. I like the lighter tones of the Crystal Blue. Now, yellow is not really a designated color in this pack, but I do think it coordinates nicely. I had used the Citrus Blend Tri-Blend marker to color the skunk's flowers, and some of the flower centers are one of the darker shades of the marker. In fact, the Tri-Blend markers I used were the Citrus Blend, Aqua Blue Blend, and Magenta Blend. Just like the ink pads, I will be converting to Stampin' Up Ink Blends markers as needed. I will link the similar colors in the Stampin' Blends markers down below. To add yellow to my flower stamped images, I pulled my Stampin' Up Daffodil Delight ink and spot. I fussy cut all these flowers out as I did not have die cuts. Now, if you look at our photos, Ace's little onesie is a yellowish brown stripe, so I think the yellows are similar enough. His mommy, his Mimi, that's my grandma name, and his aunt are all wearing black, which match the skunks. I'm going to mat the photos on white and then Lagoon paper, which is slightly darker just for definition. I've also cut out some foxtails, I think that's what they are, out of pecan pie paper, as I thought I'd like to add these to my clusters. But I'm not sure if they're going to work, so I will keep those aside and see how it goes. These are dies from the Amber Autumn set, which is on last chance. Now here I have a rough draft of what this is going to look like. I only have the papers adhered down. None of the photos or the embellishments are glued in place. But this is what I'm working on. So off camera, I'm going to put this all together. This is a close-up of our little guy. Isn't he adorable? And I will be right back. And finally, here are my finished pages. I added a little tag here with the time and place, and I added a few little blings with some gold glitter gems. And we will have additional photos with these flip-flops here. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you again with a new creation. Happy scrapping!